Good day, YouTube. It is the 30th of September 2023, and this is a next project at Glenn's Speed Shop. This is a one-man lift. This is a one-man lift that is broken. This is a one-man lift that the company I retired from gave me a few weeks ago because I turned these into speaker towers. So it's no longer safe for lifting people. But you can see over here, parked neatly against the fence, is the two speaker towers that I currently have. The one on the left, or the blue one as I call it, was another brand of manlift and a trailer that I built from a kit. I bought all the steel, then I bought a kit for like the axles and hubs, wheels, tires, fenders, hitch lights, that kind of thing, and I built that trailer. The one to the right, or the black tower, was a walk-behind forklift, a Big Joe, I think it was called. I got it for 50 bucks. The hydraulic unit was out, but I had one 12-volt hydraulic pump, and now that works fine. This one will take 4 speakers, about 20 feet high. That one about 25 feet high, 23 feet high. That one will take up to 8 speakers, about 16 feet high, 17, 18, something like that. I picked that trailer up for like 200 bucks, so I have a lot less money in that one than I have in this one because of the trailer cost. And then I picked this little trailer up for 200 bucks to put this other lift on. So I'm on the right track to get a third tower, which I may be able to use all 3 at the same time one of these days. But the idea of this build is to keep it very lightweight. That lift, the blue one, is a pretty good size and it's fairly heavy, and the trailer I built medium heavy. It's not horrible, but it was big. This trailer is built on the small side, and this could be a lot lighter than that by a few hundred pounds, and my 6-cylinder van would appreciate that. So this lift may become my primary speaker tower. So all I've done so far is I charged up a very small battery. I put a meter on the cable so I could determine which one of those was grounded, and I believe I have it correct. So I used vice grips to put the wires on, because if something goes bad, I can remove that 10 times faster than I could remove a bolt and a nut. So that's why that is done that way. And I was given this because it didn't work. It's no longer safe for humans. Can't get parts. In fact, I can't even find a wiring diagram online. I don't really know what's wrong with it. Now it's time to find out. So we can take the out of service repair tag off of it, because we own it now, and see about making it do something here. So I think you have to hit this and that at the same time. Obviously nothing works. So where's the control box on this bad boy? Ooh, there's another e-stop over here. Oh, emergency stop, off, on. This should have had a key. We're gonna have to open up this box right here and bypass this ignition switch. Alright, well, one step at a time, right? I'll keep checking back with you as I poke along with this thing. I'm not really going to make some room today. I've only got about half an hour to work on this thing today. And then we got to go. But anyway, there's the Skyjack information on it if you're curious. Weight limit 350 pounds. I think that's what the weight limit on the other one was. Goes 20 feet, 6.1 meters. Lift pressure 1500 psi. Date of manufacture October 97. Okay, I'm going to take this box apart and bypass that key switch. Why they didn't leave me the key, I don't know. They want to make it challenging for me. What's under here? That's plug. Okay, that's power inlet. And I think the cord is down there, so it's been severed. And that runs a cord up and down, up and down, and up and down to give you outlet. Here, I will put that back. And the reason I would is if I ever again, put the speakers up in the air. I could put a strobe light up there 20 feet high, and that would be kind of fun. So the outlet in the other lift does work also. So, all right, let me get this thing, start tearing it down. Guys, it's the next day. So I pulled out the switch, and somebody has already taken the key switch out of the circuit. It's not even there anymore. And I've tested the control power through that on-off switch, and then I took apart the control wiring here, and there's only 3 wires. There's a hot and an up and a down. So it goes through, let me zoom you in. It goes through that button on the left, and the e-stop, excuse me, just had the sourdough pancakes, pretty good. And then there's an up and a down. So you can see there's a green, a black and a white wire. They use the green as the hot for the cord that runs up to that control box. So we put it up on the lift because the motor and stuff is in the base of this thing. And I tested the solenoid. I jumped across it with a starter button, my starter button, and the solenoid functions. So I traced the wiring back to a limit switch right here, which is attached to this front drop-down brake. Okay, so basically, I think you can see the ball of black tape trying to make this bigger was attempting to push down on that front switch, and it was failing to do so. So this thing is diagnosed pretty easy. What I'm going to do, because I'm going to weld this lift to a trailer, I don't need that front brake, and we certainly don't need this pain in the butt limit switch. So I'm going to cut these wires, and we'll put a spade terminal or something on it just to not to destroy it, and we'll splice those, and you know what, this lift is going to work. I've already had that motor running, and it already goes up and down. So let me get those spliced, and I'll get back with you. All right, let's get these wires spliced. These are hot, so we'll be careful, not short them out. So we got our ends crimped on. We're just going to plug these in. Dang it, this one's kind of bent. Gotta get a screwdriver. Alright, got them plugged in. This thing should work. And work well. Yeah, gotta let it down. Gotta let it down. Down periscope. Put the lid down, shut the hood. Jaw down. Oh yeah. You know, best case scenario, I'm just gonna have to replace a solenoid, but who'd have thunk even the solenoid was good. All right, it was just that limit switch deal. That would have been an easy fix for someone, but sometimes these lifts just get so old they just come out of date, and it's just time to, for the safety of the users and such, it's just time to replace them. And this one got replaced, so I am the beneficiary of a safety decision. So I think next thing we're going to do, we just will tear this basket off. I got to put these control panels back together. Let's get this basket off of here, and maybe get it fitted with a battery. I'm not sure if I've got a decent enough battery for this thing, but this lift, because it's going to become my primary lift, I'll probably just pull batteries from the other lifts. No sense leaving them in there for one use a year kind of thing. So I think we'll do that. All right, pretty excited, guys. Let's get to going on this thing. All right, I started pulling stuff off. Obviously, I got the basket off. There was 2 bolts up here, and then there was 4 down below that had nuts on them. So we just pulled this plate loose, bottom 4 screws, peeled it up so I could get to the nuts on the back side of those holes. That was easy enough. Also took that little battery charger enclosure off the top of the battery box cover, and then I started designing how this platform is going to be, and I'll take you out to my lift number 1 and show that to you, and you'll get a concept of how this is going to be. Because this one works so well, we're going to, for the most part, copy it. The length of this is 68 inches, and I measured that up against the new lift. We're going to make it 70 so I can clear that battery box on the rear that's going to open and close. Just had to add a couple inches on the back side. There'll be 33 inches from the tower forward, and I'm going to make these taller. On the black lift, I did make them taller. The speakers are held better. I think I was actually short on pipe when I did these, so anyway, I have enough pipe, we have enough square tube, we're going to do that. So the width is going to be the same, so these are 36 inches, and that's where we're going to cut the new steel. 1, 2, 3, 4, so 1 on each end, 1 to support across the bolt holes that are already there, and then 1 here to kind of support this brace. Okay, so we'll fit the brace after we get this much of it bolted on the lift, get it all leveled up, and then we'll fit the brace. We'll do that. All right, so let's go cut some steel. All right, this is steel we're working with. I picked this up the other day, kind of on the secondhand market. It was on Marketplace. It's a 10-foot, 1.5 inch square tube. It's 1/8 inch thick. It's going to be excellent. So let's go cut some. All right, we're going to use the Evolution saw. So I've taken some time to kind of look at my measurements, because I'm only cutting 4 pieces 36 inches. Then I'm cutting 2 pieces 70 inches, and that's really all the steel I need. So I just kind of looked at what my waste might be. So we're going to cut a 70 and a 36 out of 2 sticks, and then we'll cut 2 more 36s off a 3rd stick. So we'll end up with 2 14-inch waste pieces and a 4-footer. So all good usable stuff. So if you don't have one of these saws, it's a game changer. All right, isn't that a beautiful cut? All right, I'm gonna get the other ones cut. Loving the Evolution saw. Makes short work, very accurate work. We got the steel cut. So let's get set up. I don't know if we're gonna work these out here or in the other room. But anyway, we'll start getting these things laid out. I'll measure my bolt holes on the tower and get those drilled. I might as well drill those now. We're gonna put those across here. Okay. Yeah, and we'll go from there. So let's get this thing laid out. We'll get those holes drilled, and we'll start welding this thing together. All right, cool. Here we go. All right, so took one of my 36-inch pieces. I found center, and then marked my 2 holes that are in that tower. I just need to drill them out. Clearance for a 3/8 bolt, and then we start putting this together. My stop needs adjusting. Gotta fix it. There we go. That's better. We'll go lay this out. All right, so we're fitting this thing together. I'm using my lift, put a couple pieces of steel across. It's reasonably level. That allows me to get this up and get it square. So my 2 70-inch pieces, my 2 36-inch pieces make the frame. I used a framing square to get this thing pretty square. And then a tape measure across diagonal in both directions to just dial this in. It's perfect at the moment. Just using magnets, welding magnets to hold everything in place. Everything is nice and square and true and butted together nicely. So time to break out the welder and get this thing tacked in place. All right, welder set up. We're gonna tack this baby together. Fresh. Careful, it's thin. Turn my welder down a little. Better. So you get the drill. I'll continue tack welding this all together. And then we'll get the other pieces fit, and we'll hold it up against the machine and make sure everything looks copacetic before we fully weld it so we don't waste nothing. All right, here we go. Okay, we got everything tacked. I've got the support piece put in that we just drilled, and we're going to tack that in place, and then we're going to bolt this onto the lift and finish the assembly and welding on the lift. We'll on the man lift and get it off the 2-post lift here. Okay. Alrighty. Let me get this pulled down, and we'll bolt it on the lift and we'll finish the fabrication. Okay, we got it sort of on the lift. All we gotta do is tighten up a couple bolts using 3/8 grade 8 bolts with some nylock nuts, and to drop the wrench. I always keep a magnet handy because I have a bad back. We don't need to go crawling down there for that. It happens. We fix it. It'll happen again. There. See, we can have the same success on the other side. Give me a second. I'm going to grab a level just to get this thing in the ballpark of level. Kind of overkill on a level, but it was handy. And I did need to bump it up a little bit on the side. You know, the holes are just a little oversized, so how am I going to get to it from this way? Yeah. All right, what's next? I think I'll fit this next cross piece in here. It's needed for the brace that we're going to put on this thing. Keep this steady. So somewhere in here, and we're going to put a kicker up to there. That's what we're going to do. Okay, let's do that. All right, I've got these marked. I went 16.5 inches to the back side of this piece of steel. Drew a line there. We'll put the magnets on it, and we'll set this piece in place. Welding magnets are your friend when working with square tubing, right? Makes that easy. Precision. Precision. Good. Good. All right. Let's tack those in place. All right. Now, we need to work on the kicker, the brace. Shut that welder off for a while. Guess I can take this off for a while. So, I should turn the helmet off. Save the battery. So I need to make a piece for up here so I have something to run the kicker to. Okay, I could make the kicker go down. That'd clean this up a little bit. I do use that post a little, this kicker, for tying speakers to it and such. So I'm not real hip to going down, and I've got a longer angle here to make this sturdier. Okay. Yeah. Let me think about what this should look like. I'm going to leave this receptacle here. The cord's been severed down here, but I can fix that. And then you can plug in power down here, and it'll run up the boom. So I've never done it yet, but I've always thought about putting like a strobe light and stuff on the speakers, and then run this thing up, or Christmas lights. You could drape Christmas lights down or whatever. So I'm going to maintain that, so I don't want to block it. They should have put that thing up at like another inch or something, but let me look at that for a minute, and I'll see what I'm gonna do with it. Ooh, crashed my elbow. So what I come up with is a couple angle brackets here. It's gonna work really good. This is just this leftover piece, about 14 inches or something like that, when we cut the square tube, so I can use that as is. We'll just weld this to that, and we'll bolt to those brackets. I've got the kicker setting here on magnets for the moment. Hard to get this dialed in perfectly, but let's get close anyway. I'm going to use this piece of tube, the other leftover piece. By the way, this, and this are the only three leftovers from 3 10-foot pieces that we're working with today. So this at least gives me the angle. But I'm out here anyway, so the whole thing's going to move forward. So that should be pretty close. Now I'm going to mark the bottom. I can do it with that magnet there. How am I going to do that with that magnet there? Okay, so I can actually cut that just a little long. I'll just remember to cut that a little long as I fit it up in the saw. So let me go cut that, and we'll get that fit. I'm going to cut that a little bit longer even yet, let that go up, because we might buzz the top of this off up here, put a notch in it, fold it over, weld it kind of thing, because this is way longer than this. I don't really want that thing opened like that, so we'll make things a little long. I'd rather trim it once than, you know, have to add to it or something. So here we go. So I've got these angles drawn out. Again, I extended things a little bit. If it fits the first time, I'd be surprised, but I didn't want to come up short. So I can't get these. I can probably get this angle on the saw, but I can't get the other angle on the saw. It's too extreme. So what we're going to do, so this is how far I extended it. What we're going to do is put it in the saw and just cut that. This side will be open, then I'll only have to do these two sides with a death wheel. I might try to get this one cut in the saw. If not, I'll cut the straight pieces and then just come back and death wheel that. So, okay, let me see if I can fit this one in and cut this one shot. Let's see what we can do here. Yeah, we can get this one in one shot. That looks pretty good. Yeah, it's okay. These are approximation angles anyway. We can weld a little gap if we need to. Here we go. Didn't quite cut that last piece of corner. There we go. We got her. All right, now let's set this back to square again, and we'll cut that top, and then we'll just have to do the two side death wheels because of the extreme angle. Okay. All right, just through the top. Alright, we had to go a little farther to get all the way through. That's fine. Okay, let me get the old death wheel out, shall we? Alright, I've got one side cut. Let's do the other. Let's cut the correct line too, Glenn. There we go. Alright, I'll finish it up. Alright, let's go see how she fits, right? She's gonna be good. This side's gonna be good. Alright. All right, I got it fit in there. I'm glad I gave it a little bit of length. I wish I'd have gave it a little more length, but it is what it is. We can be fine with it. It's gonna work great as a brace. So I'm gonna center this and center the upper and tack it in place. So this 36, so that needs to be 18. It is clearly not 18. Don't go too crazy. Whoa, there we go. That's perfect. I got a, because it's at an angle, it's got a little hangover on both sides, but I can fully weld that. That'll look good. This one looks centered. If I'm using those screw holes in that outlet as a center, I don't really think it's got to go any direction to be good. Maybe slightly. That way. Ever so slightly that way. She's springing back on me. There we go. That looks good. Okay, I'm gonna tack it right there. Okie dokie. We'll tack these two so we can take those clamps off. Right through the galvanizing. Do the other side. Right. You know what's left? Fully weld. Okay, I got a lot of welding to do. You know what I'm saying? So let me do that. You know what? This video is starting to get a little long. So I think we're gonna end here and do a part 2 because there's a long way left to go. And then we got the trailer build to do too. So let's do that, guys. Thanks for watching. Appreciate the comments. Thumbs up, please, on the way out the door. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please consider doing that. Hit that bell notification button, and we'll get another video out to you very, very soon. See you next time.